All right, here we go. Today we're going to work on Google Slides. So once we're in the Google Drive, we're going to press on the New button. Slide down to Google Slides. It's a little yellow box. Looks like a slideshow. Clicking it open. As always, the very first thing we're going to do is name it Rusty's Movie. And we have a slide here. You can see it's already set up for you. It says click to add title, pretty straightforward. You can add a theme to it. And if you click on theme, it'll offer you some options. Oh, they're here on me. I've got to move me out of the way. So then you can slide down, pick one of these. And this can be applied to all the slides. There's lots of choices here. People often like the one. Click this one and it'll add it to our thing, and then when I add my title, I'm going to just double click where that is and say Rusty, and my subtitle might be by Mrs. Story. Our first slide, we're going to usually want to have the title of what we're going to learn about and then who presented it. I always suggest having an image also on each slide rather just a blank screen. So just like in our other Google Forms and Docs, you go up to the image and you can do a search, and I can do corgi dogs, see what they come up with. There's some pretty silly looking ones. Let's pick oh, this guy looks good. Click this. I think I'm on top of my select button again, so I press select. And my image should appear. Of course, it's giant. Remember our lessons from before, when we need to resize something, we'd grab a corner button, not the top or the sides. Will change the shape. If you grab the corner, it'll keep it in proportion as you reduce it down in size. And then you can put that up on your title screen, and that always looks nice. So now I've made my title screen. Like I say, if I click off the screen, all the boxes will go away. I've got a picture. I've got a title capitalized. I've got who created it on the first slide. Always a nice introduction. And then what you need to do is go up here to the left. You'll see a new slide, and you click on that, and it'll add a new slide. Now this one is just blank, and you can just start writing into it. You could also put a background on it, and we could choose a color. So I just click color, and if I go with a light color, that's always best, and then done. Now remember, if you have a light color, you want to pick want to keep your font a color that works, so you don't want to go like yellow on the light blue. That'd be very hard to read. Double click to add title. Rusty Goes for a Walk. It's a title, so I'm going to capitalize it. And then down here I might have notes on how Rusty goes for a walk. This would be a time when you could use bullet points if you wanted. I think they're in here. Here are my bullet points. That was under the, I'll click back. I went to the More button, click that open. Bullet points are here. And then it puts the little dot up for you and say, bring a leash. Look before crossing the road. These should be short, quick thoughts on the main subject of that page. Once again, I would probably add an image on this page to keep it more interesting. It's important when you do a slide that you don't have too much writing. If you were presenting this to someone, it should be just points for you to remember things by. There should be more information given out as you're presenting this. You might say, bring a leash. You want a leash that's 6 feet long, made out of leather. You know, the right strength for your dog. But the slide shouldn't have everything you're going to say. That gets really boring if it's a slide and you read from the slide. A slide should just have key points that keep it interesting for everybody. So anyway, you just keep adding slides. You've got the same tools you've had on anything else. And when you are done, you go up here to where it says Present. Get rid of the theme button for now. And if I go to Present, it will start showing the slides. And there's my first slide. And like I said, I only have 2 slides, so not very much. If I press Escape, it'll go back to the present preparing. And on the Present, you can add speaker notes, which you're probably not going to want to do. And also, come back. The transition button. Right now I have no transition. I only have 2 slides, so it's really not very much. But if the transition gets kind of fun, this is where you can do the the fading and the sliding from right and the flipping and the cube. Cube is often one people like. You don't want the pace to be too fast, especially if there's writing on it that people have to read. So then you can apply to all slides, click it again, and then when you play it, it makes this very fancy cube thing. Obviously you need more than 2 slides. A minimum about 5 slides to make a good show. 2 or 3 isn't really worth the time, but about 5 slides tonight. Much more than 5, it gets too wordy, too long, and you might find you've lost your audience. So, a quick introduction to Google Slides, Google Presentations. Can be made on all devices, and it's very useful for, we will use it for reviewing a science, social studies with a group. We'll create the slideshow. And later we'll get into how you can work on a slide with many people, each creating their own slide. But for today, just your basic lesson on Google Slides, Google Presentation. Hope you enjoyed.